Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let's talk about the Amazing Spider-Man 2, because I was bamboozled. I was bamboozled. Oh, Amazing Spider-Man 2 bamboozled me. And I'm talking about Amazing Spider-Man number 2 from the 2021 run that John Romita Jr. has did. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the cover, if you guys remember the cover, for issue number 2 is the one where Peter Parker and Mary Jane are walking away from each other. And I'm thinking we're going to follow up on that. Tell me why we didn't follow up on that. Tell me why that cover was a whole lie. Look, comic book industry. At least if you gonna have me to continue to read some of these books, don't sit up there and do this to me. Don't you sit up there and do this to me where I done set up there and got invested in this story because you done set up there and got Mary Jane Watson with some children, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. We gonna follow up in issue number 2. Tell me why we didn't follow up in issue number 2. Tell me why we didn't follow up in issue number 2. Tell me why issue number 2 started off with Norman Osborn banging on Peter Parker's door and telling him, hey, I have a job for you. And he was like, you owe me. And then, of course, Nick Spencer, they have a little thing where Nick Spencer, like, since when? Because apparently that's something important that happened where Peter told Norman that he'll do something for him one day, I guess. And basically, it was to watch Norman Osborn's grandchildren. And that was the big thing. That's all it was. It was like, well, Liz needs a break, and I promised I was going to watch them, but then I had some business I had to take care of. So, yeah, Peter, you're going to have to watch the kids. Norman! And then, of course, Tombstone's daughter, I forgot what the name of the character was. She asked her dad, is she okay? And then he was talking about, I'm going to have to go to war with the Rose. And, she's like, I can take care of myself and I should join the fight. And he was like, no, because I want you to see me as your father, not as the man that's not going to be your father after I finish doing what I have to do. And pretty much Spider-Man, after he finishes watching the kids, he decides to go and be Spider-Man for a little while. He goes on the Upper East Side of New York City. He goes and finds White Rabbit and asks her where Tombstone is. She tells him where Tombstone is. Tombstone done beat up a whole entire crew of mafia people that the Rose had. And basically Peter and him start fighting, pretty much. They start fighting. It looks like Peter got him until Tombstone kind of tricked Spider-Man into the trunk of the bed of the trunk. No, it's the trunk of the truck. Lord have mercy. And kind of captured him a little bit or whatever. And that kind of stopped Spider-Man from moving around because he can't really invade or punch or really do anything when he's confined to small spaces because, Peter likes to jump and move around or whatever. So Tombstone, squeezes him unconscious, kind of breaks his rib cage. And in the truck that Tombstone was in, drives off, and we see the White Rabbit opens up a harbor place right there, and the truck drives in, and then the book ends, and that's it. Like, that is it, y'all. That is like the quickest story I've ever read. That was like less than 10 minutes, because it really wasn't much to go on. And I'm sorry. I don't care what none of y'all say. I'm sorry. John Romita Jr., it's a no, bruh. It's a no. I'm not saying I'm better than him. I don't want nobody sitting up here saying I said that. I am not saying that. But seriously, it ain't good. The artwork is just not there for me. I'm sorry. I really wish I could say it was, but it's not. It's not for me. I don't know. God dang it. I really wish I could really enjoy this book. Enjoy the story that's being told a little bit better. But John Romita Jr.'s artwork is just a no-go for me. You know, it was already bad enough. I don't know which one is worse. Which one of you guys think is worse? Is it worse that the story is terrible and it has beautiful art, or it has a decent story but terrible art? Like, which one do you think is worse? Because it gives me the whole Ivan Reyes thing with Superman, where beautiful artwork from Ivan Reyes, but God damn it, Brian Michael Bendis his story was so trashy that it just ruined the story, and I couldn't hold on. I tried my best, but once Superman gave up his secret identity and revealed it to the world, I was like, and I'm out. Like, ain't enough beauty in the world to keep me still reading this damn book. And it's kind of like the same thing with John Romita Jr.'s work. I'm sorry, maybe back in the day, but I'm sorry, it feels like he foamed it in. I'm not saying that he's not a talented artist, but he foamed that shit in. He foamed it in. He really did. He really foamed it in. And I don't know, maybe he's not passionate about comic book artwork or anything, but it is just a no for me, guys. It is definitely a no for me. And I really wish I could tell you more about the story, but Amazing Spider-Man 2, issue number 2, 2022 run, it ain't really much of nothing to go on. That's basically really it. And that's why I'm saying I feel bamboozled, because I'm like, what? Because I'm thinking we about to get some resolution to Mary Jane and these children that nobody knew she had, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and then with the cover having Mary Jane and Peter Parker walk away from each other, looking sad or whatever, and you're thinking like, oh my God, this is about to be something big. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with the little with the little Tombstone, because I actually like Tombstone, so it's kind of cool that they took what they did in Spectacular Spider-Man and actually, made that work for the character. So I'm not upset or mad about any of that at all. So I'm never going to be upset at them doing something different with Tombstone, because Tombstone is such a great character, and especially to see a prominent black character doing something villainous, because it just seems like lately they don't want the black characters to do anything bad or something like that, especially if it's a black character that's a villain. They barely want to do anything with them, or they want to try to rehabilitate them or something like that. So it's really good to kind of see Tombstone being Tombstone. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that, I knew we was going to deal with Tombstone, but at the same time, I thought we was also going to deal with a little bit of Mary Jane Watson. I would have loved to have seen, like, part of instead of Peter Parker taking up Norman Osborn's grandkids, I would have loved to see, like, Mary Jane, maybe like having a life in her day with the kids and explaining why her and Peter done broke up or whatever, and then she sees him swing by and kind of yearning for him, but knowing that she can't be with him. Give me something. That's what I want. That's what I was thinking we was gonna get, but we didn't even get none of that. So now I still trying to figure out, like, how the hell Mary Jane Watson and Peter Parker broke up, and then 6 months later she got babies. Since when? You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm trying to tell you, I really wish I could give you more from the thing, but there is not that much. When I tell you there is not that much for this book, it ain't that much. And I'm not saying that in a bad thing. It's just I was just kind of confused. I'm like, okay, did I just sit here and read this whole book in less than 10 minutes? What happened? So that's what I'm saying, them being bamboozled. I'm not saying it's a bad book. It's not a bad book. Art wise, but story wise, I am interested, but I'm just kind of like, but where's the rest of this is at? I feel cheated. I want me a redo. Like, I don't know. I don't know what happened here, but that's what it feels like to me. Like, I'm just saying that's just my personal opinion. I was bamboozled because I thought of something different and we didn't get that. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with the book. I would suggest you reading it if you like it or whatever. I don't know. Because to me, the reason why I'm reading this right now, because I really want to know what happened between Mary Jane and Peter Parker, and then I'm piqued by interest. So yeah, I'm already kind of really sold on it, even though, like, I think part of my thing is like my thing about, like, oh, I kind of owe it to John Romita Jr. to, like, read his book, because, you know, they said he loved Spider-Man, but you can't really tell it in these books right now. But it is what it is. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.